What's up, everybody? What am I doing? We're streaming again? DJ, you just streamed last night. What are you doing? You got to spread these things out. No, we're doing it again because my wife is still out of town and Connor's around and I just wanted to hang out with him. And I also got a green screen today. So I'm going to mess around with that today and we're going to talk about what things you should be watching that are available on all of the streaming services. All of the streaming services. Look at all these streaming services, Connor. Let me introduce you first. This is my co-host for the evening, talking about movies as always. Connor Nielsen, there he is.
Whoa! Look at all those streaming services. How you doing, DJ? I'm doing great. It's always fun.
I know, right? This is a very last-minute thing we just kind of threw together, and this is a video I actually wanted to do, like an edited video, like a nice, quick cut. Edit it nice and clean and get the people the information. We're actually going to do it in a long, probably talky, overblown stream. So hopefully you can find some value in this instead of that version, because I just don't have time to edit because it's the holidays and I'm busy, and that's why we're doing this. So let's go ahead and jump into it. I'm going to share my screen. Streaming services are going to be right behind me here, and I'm going to get rid of this little thumbnail background. And boom, there it is. Our first streaming service, Connor Nielsen, is it's Hbo Max. Sorry, they have this banner across the top called Holiday Wonderland. So I've pulled up the Christmas sections on all of these apps, and we're just going to go through and give some recommendations of our favorites, my favorite things to watch this time of year, and Connor's going to pop in too. He's not as up on Christmas movies as he wants to be, as we've said before, but he's here. And we're going to chat about stuff, and he's going to contribute because I like him, so I like keeping him around. So HBO Max, you want to go ahead and start before I take anything that you might bring up? Do you have a pick for HBO Max? Here we've got the big banner. They've got Elf front and center. Christmas Vacation, that makes sense. Those two are huge. I don't know what Dear Christmas is. That looks like a Hallmark original movie if I've ever seen one.
Well, what I just wanted to say is there is a lot of movies that were on my need to watch list that are just right here. It happened on Fifth Avenue, which I guess I didn't actually have in the video on the list. It was on my list, but I didn't actually talk about that on our stream. But Shop Around the Corner, Jimmy Stewart looks a lot like David Schwimmer in that little thumbnail. And The Original Miracle on 34th Street. But I think the one that I kind of giggled at when I saw Meet Me in St. Louis is also here. But Michael Keaton's Jack Frost.
Yes.
Have you ever seen that movie?
I watched that movie like every year growing up with my brothers. I don't know why. It's maybe that's why I didn't like Elf, because I had already seen the weird like kid connecting with his dad Christmas movie with weird fantasy elements and a crazy snowball fight where he also does the super speed throw and knocks out all the bullies in one shot. So Jack Frost did it first, guys. Forget this Elf nonsense.
Well, I feel like Jack Frost was terrifying. like I mean, look at that thing. He has like Michael Keaton's eyebrows. Like that's like uncanny. It's the
best
weird.
CG I've ever seen.
It's terrifying. I don't know, but like when I was a kid, it kind of spooked me out. But I was like eerily drawn towards it. I don't remember anything about it except now I know that it was Michael Keaton. I didn't know that was Batman back when I watched it, but I don't know. I'm gonna go with Jack Frost. It's a little unorthodox, so that's why I'm gonna go with it.
All right, and I might need you to monitor the chat tonight if you can, because I've got my screen sharing here, so I can't really pull up the YouTube tab. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff on HBO Max. They have a lot of the classics that I really, really like. Every year, I don't know. I guess they don't have It's a Wonderful Life. Someone else must have that this year. But yeah, Shop Around the Corner is great. You're going to attempt to watch that this year. That's a really good Jimmy Stewart, like early rom-com and workplace kind of comedy. I like all the interplay there. We talked about that before. Holiday Affair I just watched this year and is really good. If you want to watch a movie with a love triangle where all three of the characters are likable and making smart decisions and like reasonable, and it's just like it's unheard of these days. That doesn't happen anymore. Like there's always just like the jerk husband who's being a jerk, so she's going like they're all great and you like all of them. It's really it was refreshing to watch that this year. Meet Me in St. Louis is great if you like musicals. It's not that much of a Christmas movie. It's like it's the very end of it is Christmas time, but there's most of the movie's not at Christmas time. But I really like that. I've watched that for the first time last year, and that quickly became one of my top Christmas movies. So yeah, I would say Shop Around the Corner, Meet Me in St. Louis. Oh, they got Polar Express this year. What does Harry Potter have to do with Christmas? I guess they do Christmas every year in those movies, so that counts, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great Christmas Carol. Is that the 38 version? Yes, I recommend this. This is the 38 Christmas Carol. That's a really good one.
I will say, I am Team Elf. To anybody curious, DJ is Team Not Elf. I am Team Elf. It's one of the only Christmas movies I say I've actually seen. I guess I have seen The Polar Express. We got it. We got it. A funny story about that. My brother actually he's playing Christmas music at his comic book shop every day, and he just sent me a message a couple afternoons ago where he said listening to Tom Hanks shout "We got it" at my bookstore is one of the most surreal things ever.
That's amazing. But yeah, they've got a good mix. Obviously, they got like the TV episodes like Fresh Prince and Friends and Big Bang Theory, I guess if you like that show. A lot of people like to watch Batman Returns around Christmas time. I know that's not a favorite of Connor's. I've only seen it once. I don't really have a dog in that fight. I'm not a Batman guy, but a lot of people do like to watch that. But yeah, that's a good mix. I think Fred Claus is also available on here, which I recommend if you like Paul Giamatti and Vince Vaughn just bantering back and forth as brothers. That's a really funny movie. I can't find it at the moment, but I think it's on here. I think I saw it the other day.
Yeah.
I mean, Sex and the City, the movie, Connor, you're the expert there. Is that Christmassy?
Well, let me tell you. I mean, it's really more of a New Year's thing that they're going for in that movie, but there is the Christmas season. It comes, really funny movie. It goes. It's really about new beginnings. That movie, and you're never too old to have a new beginning. You're never too old to forgive your husband for cheating on you, even though that would have never happened. Okay, Steve never would have cheated on Miranda, and that's such a
okay. Enough of that. Just not expecting.
Anyways,
Sex and the City rant.
I was gonna say what I love about the Christmas movie market totally it's a thing, right? Where we were kind of riffing about this before, but there's always like Hallmark style Christmas movies like everywhere you go, yeah. Right? And I'm noticing one here, A Christmas Wedding Tale, TAIL. It's got a couple of dogs that look like they're getting married. I don't know what that is, but it looks kind of funny.
Interesting. I did find Fred Claus. There it is. Have you seen this movie, Deck the Halls, with Danny DeVito and Matthew Broderick?
I have not. I remember when it was coming out.
What a terrible movie. It's like Buddy Hall, which is the character name of Danny DeVito. He's like the best car salesman in the world, but he doesn't feel like he has any fame. Like he's having like this midlife crisis. Like he wants to be known. He wants the world to know him. So he puts as many Christmas lights on his house as he possibly can because his goal is for it to be seen from space.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the stupidest it sounds. And Matthew Broderick is like the normal straight man whose like life is being ruined by this crazy, insane person who's just come into his life and is destroying everything. It's not funny. It's not great.
So hold on. Is Matthew Broderick like the next door neighbor who's like, I don't like all those lights? Yeah,
you got it. You got the gist.
Okay, I got it.
That might be a good movie to actually riff on and do like a commentary or something because it is rough. But yeah, I think we've covered it. Polar Express is on here. We talked a little bit about that. I think that's A lot of people, that gets a really bad rap. I think it's a good kids movie. I'll show my
I
son
think
that
it
one.
mostly gets wrapped on because of its, of its time CG mocap stuff.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid, I saw that in theaters in 3D, and I thought it was pretty okay.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Darren Root in the live chat says, Jack Frost, I recommend the horror movie of the same name. Have you seen that?
I've seen the poster floating around. I have never seen it, so I cannot speak to it.
Yeah. I have not also. We have a mutual friend who's really into horror movies, and he also recommends that. There's another one on here called Black Christmas. That's not the classic Black Christmas, right? That's a different one.
Yeah, so Black Christmas has been remade
wow.
twice. I think the original is from '76, I believe, and then there's an '06 remake, and then there was a 2019 remake. And this one, it appears, is the 2019 remake, which is most would say the weakest incarnation of that story.
Yeah, this looks very recent.
It didn't get a lot of love.
All right, well, let's leave the HBO Max station. This is the Polar Express, and then we're gonna go right on to Disney Plus. Oh man, Tom Hanks is killing it in that movie. How many roles does he play? 3? He's the
Okay, let's see if we
he's
can
the
count.
ghost. He's the conductor. I think he's Santa, is he not?
Yes,
Yeah,
he is.
I think he does
Yes.
3. Is he the kid also? Is it like an Eddie Murphy movie where he's just every character?
Did you count the hobo on the top?
Yeah, I called him the ghost because he disappears.
Okay.
But he is
That's right.
a hobo ghost.
There might be one or two others. I can't remember. But he is definitely those 3. I can confirm.
We'll have to hit the IMDb page. All right, we've moved on to Disney Plus, which also has a Happy Holidays section here, but fills the screen. I got beef with HBO Max. I don't know what this deal is. Like my monitor is too big for HBO Max, so it just like cuts off here. That's terrible. Get that fixed, HBO Max. Disney Plus does fill the screen. They got enough money to pay their UI designers to do all the resolutions. I mean, Home Sweet Home Alone. I mean, how many times have you watched that this year, Connor?
Oh, 3 times. Oh, my bad. I watched Home Alone 3. My
that's
bad.
right. That's right.
The one that isn't even a Christmas movie. I watched
that. Is
one.
on here, as well as the first 2. So for serious recommendations. The first Home Alone's on here. I mean, you got to watch that one every few years. That's a classic. Second one is basically just the first movie again in a different location. Not necessary to watch. All the Home Alone 2 fans are going to come out and attack us in the comments. Oh my gosh. Oh, what is that monstrosity? That is terrible. Jingle All the Way is a classic. Jingle All the Way is high art. Jingle All the Way should be shown in schools. Jingle All the Way should be kept in the Smithsonian. It should be sent to space to tell the Martians exactly what Earth is like, because Jingle All the Way is one of the best Christmas movies ever. I love Jingle All the Way, and I fully understand that you had to grow up with that movie to like that movie, because I could quote that entire movie. Like, that is one of those movies we watched multiple times a year growing up in my family. I don't know why, because I haven't seen like any other Arnold movies. Like, my dad was not a big 80s action movie guy. Like, I don't know why Jingle All the Way. I guess we were just Christmas people.
Darren Root in the live chat says, Hawkeye, everyone's favorite Christmas character. Which is pretty funny because Hawkeye is all over the branding. If you go to the top where it says Happy Holidays, you got Olaf in one snow globe and a Hawkeye in the other. So yeah, you would recommend Jingle All the Way, obviously, in the first Home Alone, and they are the first 2 right there under live action holiday movies.
Yep. I guess I am just Mr. Mainstream.
No, maybe they're conforming to you. Maybe they caught wind that you were going to be doing this live stream, and they said, well, we gotta make sure.
This isn't even based on my recommendations at all, because if you notice in the top corner, I just made an account to do this video. So if you look up at the top, the welder up there, and I picked the Hawkeye. I guess you can't see, but I picked the Hawkeye profile image, and it looks like very similar to the one that's in that snow globe right there. but yeah, Hawkeye. We can recommend. I'll recommend Hawkeye. The first episode I was just kind of like meh on, like middle of the road. Second episode I did not like, but third episode I liked. So I guess it's a lukewarm recommendation from this guy. It's more Christmassy than I thought. I thought they were going to kind of sell it on Christmas and then just like not even try. But it's pretty Christmassy, so I recommend it.
And I thought the fourth episode was easily the best episode, and it's the most Christmassy.
Well, fantastic! I didn't even know there was a fourth one out. When did that come out?
So it came out like a week ago. The fifth episode drops tonight at midnight.
Oh, I'm one behind. I didn't even realize I was one behind.
Yeah, they dropped the first two episodes together, and so then they've been releasing one a week. So this would be the fourth week, but it's the fifth episode.
Yeah, look there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
So we had The Polar Express on HBO Max. On Disney Plus, we have A Christmas Carol, which is the other Robert Zemeckis CGI mocap film, which is interesting because he did 3 of those movies, which 2 of them were Christmas movies, right?
Yeah.
Which is actually kind of interesting.
Is the other one the Mars Needs Moms one?
Oh, no. The other one's Beowulf.
Oh, who did Mars Needs Moms? Because that looks it's the exact same kind of animation.
It was Disney Studios. I don't know who the director was, but that was a project at Disney for a very long time.
Home Alone 3, of course. Classic. Right there. Look at that. Look at that lovely Max Keeble face.
Look at that twerk.
Santa Claus. We didn't mention that. You have it on your list to finally check out the Santa Claus. That's a big favorite among fans. I know Santa Claus is one that people go back to. Santa Claus 3 is one of the worst movies ever made and should never be watched. And I hope you never watch. I hope you never subject yourself to that, Connor. Because
let me just tell you right now, I don't think I will, because I'm never going to be able to get through the Santa Claus because the Easter Bunny is very, very scary if you're me. When I was a child, I never was able to get through the Santa Claus 2 because I'd get to that scene with the Easter Bunny, and I knew just by the way the scene was made that it was like a setup scene, and all those characters would come back later, and I didn't want to see that Easter Bunny ever again. So
there are some deleted bloopers. They do that thing in the end of the credits of that movie where they show the bloopers, and there's a scene where the Easter Bunny is like right up on Mother Nature's shoulder, like creeping on her like he's attracted to her, and she goes ah, and I feel like that would really terrify you if you had seen that. So probably a good thing you didn't. Who is that woman who plays Mother Nature? She's Ross's girlfriend in Friends. She's one of Ross's many girlfriends in Friends. Who's like the scientist who leaves him for the other scientist. Anyway, we would be remiss if we didn't mention The Nightmare Before Christmas. Everyone who has seen that movie seems to be a big fan of it. I still have not seen it. It's on my list this year, so hopefully I can squeeze it in before the year's over. But yeah, you know what you're getting. This is Disney Plus. I mean, everything they own. There's some weird stuff on here now. It's weird seeing the Ice Age movies under the Disney banner for me. Like, that's super strange. Mm-hmm. This is just winter favorites, not necessarily Christmas stuff. Edward Scissorhands. That's where Edward Scissorhands is. So yeah, a lot of people watch that at Christmas time. I never thought to watch Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, but there is a scene where they literally meet Santa and he gives them all gifts. Father Christmas. So that's cool. True. I like that movie a lot.
That is absolutely
Cool
true.
Runnings is one of my wife's favorite childhood movies. John Candy.
I think something that Disney Plus really has is like the shorts. I'm sure that Hbo Max has a lot of shorts as well, but they really have the shorts front and center up here. So you have like your In Search of Santa Paws and Santa Paw 2 and stuff like that, but you have like the Lego Star Wars holiday special, Once Upon a Snowman, but even older stuff like Beauty and the Beast, The Enchanted Christmas, Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas. You have those kind of archival favorites and the kind of like newer Christmas shorts that are being produced. So
yeah, I mean, obviously it's useful to me because I have kids and I'm trying to show them older stuff. So I like that, like you said, the holiday shorts. You see right here, Pluto's Christmas Tree is a fun little short where Chip and Dale are like in the Christmas tree and Pluto's like trying to get him and tears the Christmas tree up and gets in trouble. Shenanigans ensue. He likes that one a lot. I really like this next one, Santa's Workshop, which is like a really old short. I think that's from 1932. And you can see like how similar the animation style of the house is to Snow White, which is just a a few years later, a few years after that. Like the elves in that look just like the dwarves. I think one of the voice actors is even the same. But side note, I'm really a fan of these kind of elves, like the really really small elves, like the elves and the shoemaker elves. Like we it's kind of like across the board now that elves are just like a little bit shorter or like little person size. But I really like the mythological elves that are like different creatures that are like really small. Like if you look at any of, oh, I'm never gonna remember that artist's name now. Who's the artist that did like a bunch of, it's like all the famous like Americana art? It's just like Norman Rockwell. Yes, like
Norman Rockwell.
He all of his Santa, like his big famous one where Santa's like asleep working. There's like elves all over him, and they're like little shoemaker looking elves. I like that. I like that style a lot. But yeah, I think we covered it. I'm sure the Muppets Christmas Carol is on here too. That's another big favorite. That's a favorite Christmas Carol of some people. So we should probably mention that. But yeah, I think we mentioned plenty. Kid-friendly stuff and some classics that they've got their hands on over the years. Next up in my tabs is Netflix. Whoops, it logged me out. All right. Bum-bum. Okay, so Netflix, as we were both talking about before we started streaming, is our least favorite. I think it's one of the worst streaming services. Like, I know it's the first. You got to respect it, whatever. But like, HBO Max and Disney Plus are doing it so much better. Criterion's doing it so much better. Like, Netflix has just gotten left behind. For one, they don't even have like a holiday section like all these other ones that I can go to. I just have to look for these rows and hopefully find a theme that pertains to what we're talking about. Luckily, I'm seeing some things here. Like White Christmas is great. We watch that every year. That's one of me and my wife's favorite. That's one that my dad watched like every year growing up. And then now I kind of, and my wife watched it with her mom, and now we kind of both watch it together. So it's really cool. That's a great musical, real feel good movie. Aww. Get you in the feels, as they say. Klaus, right over here. I can't stop hearing about Klaus. Like everyone whenever we brought up doing that Christmas challenge, everyone's like, I hope Klaus is on your list. I better see Klaus. Klaus is the best. And I really enjoyed Klaus. I watched it last year. Have you seen that yet?
I have not. I will. I just wanted to. I'll never get another chance to say this. There is a comic book series by Grant Morrison and Dan Mora. It was a 7-issue miniseries, and there were 4 annual specials celebrating it. It's called Klaus, and it's sort of a Celtic mythology-based Santa Claus as a superhero origin story. That might sound like the lamest thing ever, but trust me, it is one of the best comics to ever be made in like the last 20 years. It is excellent. I love it, and I think if anyone watches it, you'd love it too. But there's also this animated movie, Klaus, that a lot of people really love. I think that I remember in 2011, there was that movie,
yes,
Arthur Christmas, I believe it's called. And I remember that was a bit of a sleeper hit. It has a devoted fan base, but it never really caught like a big cult following that I think a lot of people wanted it to get. But I feel like Klaus did catch that. And so I feel like I want to watch Klaus just to sort of be in the know, because a lot of people
I don't think I had quite the spiritual experience with it that other people had. It may be because I heard that it was great before I watched it, so I kind of had expectations. But the animation style is beautiful, and it still did kind of surprise me for like a Netflix original Christmas movie. I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it was, so that was a nice surprise. I'm going to try to watch that again this year and show it to my son. I think he may have watched it with me last year, but he was like 2, so he's already completely forgotten about it. I was trying to find, there's a short that came out this year by Aardman Studios. There it is, Robin. It's not very long. It's probably like 20. Oh my goodness, it's going to start playing it. I'm going to get fired. I'm going to get kicked off YouTube. See, that's another thing. That's another thing I hate about Netflix. Guys? Like, I just want to look at the information. Like I've been doing on both of the other streaming services we looked at. And I click on something on Netflix, boom, and it just starts it. The worst. Come on, Netflix. Get your UI straight. But yeah, Robin, Aardman Studios, you know what you're getting. It is beautiful. It's even more than like, it's insane stop motion. I wish I could show you a little bit of it, because it's like, they're like made of felt. They're like little felt dolls that they're doing. And I watched a little bit of behind the scenes. There's like a YouTube video, and they said literally everything is in camera. There's nothing that's not in camera, even the snowflakes. Or I don't know how. I didn't finish the video. Wow. I need to, because I don't know how they did that. But everything is in camera. It's like a little animal tale about a robin, a little bird who grows up living with mice and she kind of finds herself because she doesn't fit in, trying to sneak in and steal stuff with the other mice. Anyway, it's a cute little story. Also, Shaun the Sheep has a new short out called The Flight Before Christmas, and it was really fun. That's another Aardman Studios thing. Obviously, Shaun the Sheep. I don't know if you've seen any of the Shaun the Sheep stuff, but it was fun. They're silent films. Like, nobody talks in those. It's kind of like Wallace and Gromit, but silent version. Like, nobody speaks. There is a man and a dog also that own the sheep, and but nobody speaks, and they just kind of run around getting. But there was some good commentary on parents in that movie, like terrible parents. Like the dad's putting the kid down that the house that the sheep are like breaking into. It's just like a rich family, and he's putting the kid down, and the kid like reaches over and grabs a book and like wants his dad to read him a book, and he's like, oh, and then it cuts back to the kid, and he's like smiling because he's going to read it to him, and then the dad just plops an iPad down of him with a video of him reading the book and then leaves. I was like, ah, I wanted to punch the dad in the face. Like, horrible dad. but yeah, that was fun. That's like a real short one. I think that's only like 15 minutes or something. But yeah, that's cool. I think The Holiday is also on here, which is on your list. Which is
That is correct.
I was very surprised when I saw that on your list. I know how you got it on your list because someone recommended it to you, but before I knew that, I was like, what in the world? How did The Holiday get on his list? A rom-com from like 2007 or something.
Yeah, well, my mom liked it, and I said, Mom, what are some good Christmas movies? And she said, Christmas Vacation and The Holiday. And I said, all right, Mom, I'll take those to the bank. So I did. So for me, what I did was I went to the search engine to find Christmas movies, and I just typed in holiday. So that gave me some results that are maybe a little bit more streamlined. What I'm looking at is I do see White Christmas. I do see, but it definitely looks like they are pushing Netflix acquired products on you. They all, like most of these that I'm looking at, have the little Netflix N in the top left-hand corner. There's Holiday, the Holiday Calendar, the Christmas Chronicles, Christmas Inheritance, etc.
This one looks like a new one, A Boy Called Christmas.
But
do you know anything about that one? I don't want to click on it because it'll just start playing right away, but it looks kind of cool. Like, that's a cool poster. It's like an animated movie. It looks like a cool art style. I might have to look into that one. That must be new.
Hold on, I am looking at the Christmas Kid. Oh, a boy!
He's got a little mouse,
Christmas.
like Reaper Sheep on his shoulder. That looks interesting.
Oh, it looks like it's part live action, maybe, because I see Toby. There's what's her name? Professor McGonagall.
It might be live action. That's just a very like stylized poster, so I can't tell. I thought it was live action at first, but then looking at it, it looks like maybe it's just really airbrushed and looks animated. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look up that one. But yeah, Netflix, not a lot. HBO Max and okay, let me rephrase that. Not a lot of good stuff. They have about 1,000 like Hallmark original and Netflix original Christmas movies, if that's your thing, which a lot of people do like to watch those because they're cheesy and like to make fun of them and stuff. But not a lot of classics on here. Netflix is dwindling, man. Everyone's pulling their stuff onto their own services, and Netflix has got not a lot. This is slim pickings. That's true. They're holding on to that. They've probably got that signed away for like the next 10 years. But yeah.
Hold on, let me see if The Holiday is on there. Like, it's actually not. So it doesn't even have that. It's got Just Friends with Ryan Reynolds.
I mean, what's the difference, really? The difference is Jack Black. Jack Black is way better than Ryan Reynolds, and he's still.
Yes, Jack Black is great at everything.
All right, well, let's go ahead and switch over. Let me go to Apple TV Plus next, because I don't think I'm going to have a lot to say about Apple TV Plus. I haven't been using this very much. I've watched a few shows, like The Morning Show and Dickinson, and my wife's watched Ted Lasso. We started Schmigadoon, but we did not carry on. A lot of musical shows. They have Central Park is a musical animated show, and then Schmigadoon, I don't know if I'm saying that right, is also a musical show. Anyway, of course, right here, they've got like a huge banner right across the top ring in the season, and then they've got a whole section underneath it devoted to just a Charlie Brown Christmas. Of course, that's a classic. Like everyone's gonna. I watched that again this year. That's one I watched growing up. Everybody loves that one, so they got to post that one. It's like they're taking up. I don't know if you can see my screen, Connor, but they're taking up 4 sections of where movies or TV would be with just a Charlie Brown Christmas like split up banner.
I see that.
But it's a good one. It's fun. I mean, it's short. It's not like story driven, but I get a lot more of the jokes than I did when I was a kid. Like it's super like sarcastic, and I did not realize that growing up. I guess they went over my head, but it's really kind of mean spirited even. But but in a heartwarming way, like it comes back at the end. But interesting. So this is their Christmas section. They've got a new. I don't know if you know this, Connor. They're doing new Charlie Browns. And they've got a New Year's one here. Snoopy presents For Auld Lang Syne. So that's a new one. Or maybe that's, I don't know, that could be an old one. But they are doing new Peanut stuff in the old style. We've got Mariah Carey's Christmas, The Magic Continues. And Mariah Carey's Magical Christmas Special. So, gotta skip right past those. And then it just looks...
You guys are into Mariah Carey, boy.
It looks like we're going to be moving right along to the next streaming service because it looks like they just have episodes like Ted Lasso season 2 episode 4, Carol of the Bells, Dickinson season 1 episode 8. There's a certain slant of light. So Christmas episodes on their various shows looks to be like all they have, and Charlie Brown. So I'm glad that I got this streaming service for free when I bought a new phone. Because but I do want to watch the new Foundation series on here. I'm interested in that. Finch is getting some love, but anyway, we're not here to talk about that stuff. We're just talking about Christmas stuff. So let's move on. I'm gonna go to let's do Criterion next. Are you excited about that? Look at that banner. Oh, I wish you could see it, Connor. Hitchcock for the Holidays. That nice bright red Hitchcock for the Holidays font. That is beautiful. This is the one I've been.
I was gonna say.
Sorry, what were you saying?
Oh, my bad. Naked Zaya in the chat did say Criterion has a great Christmas selection or section, and I had a feeling this was gonna be coming up. So he's probably gonna be happy.
Yeah, this is great. Here. This is the one I've been watching the most of this year. I haven't been watching. That's not really anything to do with the holidays. That's just like their banner to watch Hitchcock for the holidays, because I don't think those are holiday movies, but that's a really cool banner. 21 films, including Vertigo, Rear Window, Marnie, Shadow of a Doubt, and Rope. So that's cool. I like that banner a lot. What I've been watching is, I'll scroll right down here to my list, Blue Christmas, which is a theme collection they have on here. Look at that. I actually know what that is now because I've watched The Umbrellas of Cherbourg. So there is the main screen. This is something that Criterion does that's really cool is they put together collections. Let's rag on Netflix. How do they not have collections yet? Like every other streaming service has collections now. And Criterion does it the best because not only do they put together the collection based on like themes, they also do this right here. If you can see in this corner, they do a trailer for it. So they've got this 3-minute video here called Introducing Blue Christmas. And I've watched a couple of those trailers for like their theme collections, and they always get me super hyped to check out the rest of the collection. Like I've watched there's like a fairy tale one, and there was a stuntman one with like some Jackie Chan and Charlie Chaplin movies. That was really fun. But yeah, this is the Christmas one. So far I've watched Mourning for the Osone Family, Black Narcissist, and The Umbrellas of Cherbourg, which were all great, all very tangentially related to Christmas. It was basically just like one scene in each movie happens at Christmas time, and they're like, throw it in there. But they don't say Christmas movies. They just say Blue Christmas. So I'll give them a pass, and I'm glad because I'm getting to check out some really great movies. I do want to check out next Placido, which seems like a fun movie, and then My Night at Maud's, and I do want to check out Kronos this year. Definitely, because that's going to be very different. I don't know if I'll get to Christmas Tale. That is a long one. And then Fanny and Alexander is so long, but I might get around to it. Me and Connor have talked about doing a video about that one, so that's more incentive to finally watch that. This here, Metropolitan, they just added this. Since we've done our Christmas movie challenge video where I said I was going to try to watch all these, they've added another one. Made it even harder for me. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to that one. That's a 1990 movie. You said you've heard of that, right?
I've seen it, yeah, in stores. I've seen it, and I'm like, wait a minute, Metropolis? Is it? Oh, okay.
Different thing. But yeah, she's standing in front of a Christmas tree, so maybe that one's more Christmassy than the others. But no, I highly recommend the first three that I've seen on here. Very sad, especially Mourning for the Osone Family. That might be my favorite of the three, but it's very, very sad. And I don't know if you want to get that sad on Christmas time. But Black Narcissist is awesome. I'm going to have to pick that one up in the Criterion sale for July, for sure, because I want that to go with my red shoes, which I'm probably going to have to pick up when the 4K comes out. But Mourning for the Osone Family is only available in one of the Eclipse sets for that director, so I don't know if I'll be able to get my hands on that one for a while. But I do have the Umbrellas of Cherbourg already because it's in that Shock to Me box set that I just bought in November. But yeah, there's some cool stuff on there. There's also, on top of that, this is just an ad for the Criterion channel, I guess, because it's clearly the best streaming service. They also have other stuff that's not in that little blue Christmas section. I'll just do a search really quick. So they've got Christmas Eve. I don't know what that is immediately. Christmas Inventory. A Christmas Dream, which is by Carol Zeman, who we just did a Criterion Corner on. That's like an early stop motion film of his that I just watched with my son recently. Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence is on here, obviously. That's actually in the Criterion Collection. And I actually have that on Blu-ray, so I'm going to check that one out. So hopefully this year. And then Black Christmas, the original one that you were talking about. Pretty sure that's the 70s one, is also on here. So yeah, lots of Christmas stuff. Sign up for the free trial or get a month of Criterion Channel and watch some Christmas movies because it's a pretty safe bet that they're at least going to be good movies, which has been a relief because that's not an assumption you can go into watching Christmas movies with because there's a lot of bad Christmas movies. But yeah, that's my recommendations on there. You want to go Amazon or Hulu next? What do you think?
Let's say, I just wanted to say very quickly about it because I actually just watched, I'm watching the miniseries of Fanny and Alexander right now, and I just watched the first episode this morning, actually. And there's 4 episodes. It's about 5 hours, a little over 5 hours long, all told. But that one is like all Christmas. It's like an hour and a half of like a Christmas evening. And I actually watched it back in like July when I picked up that box set, and I was like, oh, this is a Christmas thing, and I accidentally watched the whole thing, and I'll be sure to rewatch that around Christmas time. And I watched it again, and I liked it a lot. I liked it more than I liked it when I watched it the first time. It was really, really good. So I'm excited to watch the rest of it. But that first episode, I don't know if the rest of it's going to be Christmas related, but the first quarter of it certainly
That's great.
is.
Yeah, I'm excited to check it out. I don't know. Criterion Channel has it both as the theatrical version, which is in the Blue Christmas collection, but it also has it split up into the different episodes. So I don't know which way I should watch it. I should probably do some research. Or if anyone in the chat knows which is the better way to watch it, especially with Christmas in mind, let me know, because I don't know much about it.
Do you watch the 3-hour theatrical cut, or do you watch the 5-hour TV cut? But the 5-hour TV cut's got breaks.
That's Sophie's choice. I don't know. All right, let's do
Hulu next.
Hulu is, look at this. They've got just holidays. Just this tiny little word in the middle of the screen, holidays. Put some effort into it, Hulu. Come on. All right. One caveat here about Hulu is I have Hulu TV because my wife likes to watch some live TV. And so there might be some stuff on here on my Hulu that's not on necessarily your Hulu if you don't have Hulu TV. So apologies for that, because I know they do have some movies through their TV deals because a lot of TV channels just show a bunch of Christmas movies. So a lot of this is actually probably from that. And I have no way of knowing because they don't indicate it on the thumbnails. But looks like they have The Belle of St. Mary's. I don't know if that's that Christmassy of a movie, but it's another Bing Crosby movie that my dad had on a DVD growing up that was also with Holiday Inn. So he watched that one too quite a bit, like around the same time of year. but I don't know how Christmassy it is because I can't really remember. But It Happened on Fifth Avenue is a fun Christmas movie. I watched that. That's also on HBO Max though, so that's where I watched it. But that's a good Christmas movie about two homeless men that move into a mansion while the owner is wintering in his other home in the South. Shenanigans ensue. What else? Ooh, this is a lot of Hallmark movies. It looks like. This is oh wow, Holidays, Connor, with Daze.
Whoa, dude!
Oh man, that looks rough. But yeah, so The Holiday is on here, Connor. I don't know if that's a Hulu TV
true.
thing or if that's just regular Hulu. You might have to check that out since you're trying to watch that this year.
Yeah, and I think I have access to Hulu through a family member. I'll have to shake the password out of them, but I mean, I don't. If anyone from Hulu's, I was joking. I'm not
Hulu's
actually going to
watching.
do that.
Oh man, there's Deck the Halls again. I can't get away from it. Arthur Christmas. Have you seen Arthur Christmas? Oh, yeah, we just talked about Arthur Christmas. It's on Hulu here, Hulu TV, so that's fun. I can watch that again. Holiday in Handcuffs, starring the lead of Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I mean, that looks interesting. I think that's one of those like Groundhog's Day things where they're like stuck in a time loop.
Oh,
Happiest
okay.
Season was that like rom-com from last year with Kristen Stewart and Aubrey Plaza. Did you see that?
I did not. I heard good things about it, but I didn't watch hardly any movies. The amount of 2020 movies I saw was like 18. So I didn't watch a lot of them. But I'm noticing that there is both Grinches,
Yep, I see
theatrical
those
Grinch
here.
movies. You have Ron Howard's How the Grinch Stole Christmas and The Grinch from Illumination Studios. I will say, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, I remember watching that in theaters when I was 6 years old. And that was the first movie where I realized if you look over your shoulder and you look at the projector, you can sort of see the movie in the magnifying glass. And I watched like half of the movie just looking over my shoulder because I was transfixed by that, realizing what the technology was and where
Wow.
the image was
What
actually coming from.
That's crazy that you have that memory. That was the Ron Howard Grinch? Well, I guess it would have to be.
That was
I'm
the Ron
assuming
Howard
that you
Grinch?
didn't figure out that the projector was working when the Illumination Grinch came out when you're like 24.
Guys, I worked at this movie theater for 2.5 years, and I didn't even know there was like a big projector with a light bulb and a magnifying glass. You learn something new every day, am I right, guys?
But yeah, I like the. I have not sat through the Illumination Grinch, full disclosure, but I do like the Ron Howard Grinch quite a bit. That's one I grew up with, though. There is a Christmas Carol on here that is on my list to check out this year. It's right here. It is the '84 version. So, and that's a pretty famous one. George C. Scott playing Scrooge. I'm excited to finally get to that because I've never seen that one, and I like to at least watch one Christmas Carol each year.
And I'll tell you what, I'm excited to watch a lot of Christmas movies this year because I just went to Best Buy today, and there's a ton of Christmas movies that are on my list that are there that I could buy for like $2-3 or more like $5-6. But I don't know. I hope I like these so I can just pick them up and then watch them annually.
Yeah, Target does that every year. They'll do like the matching slipcovers for all the Christmas movies. I never get them because they always look terrible. Like this year particularly, they look even worse. Like last year, Target exclusives, they were like made to look like Christmas sweaters. So because all they do is like they have 1 million of those in a warehouse somewhere, and they just print new slipcovers so they all like can resell them. Because if you take the slipcover off, it's just the original packaging underneath. But this year was even worse. Like they're just like neon green and neon red, and that's it. And it's like the logo of the movie. Like they're really bad. There's a couple that I want. Like I still don't own A Christmas Story, which we didn't mention, but it is on HBO Max, and I still don't own the Polar Express. And I actually bought those on eBay recently, so those will be in our next Blu-ray update for January. But I do want to finally own those, and I don't want to get those crappy Target versions because very very unattractive. Do not like those. So I bought the originals for probably the same price on eBay. But yeah, I think that's it. I think we covered it. There's that Guy Pearce like Christmas Carol mini series that I tried to watch last year and could not get through. But who knows? Maybe I'll try again sometime. It was very, very strange.
What is that?
It is a guy. Sure,
tell me
I'll
about
open it
that.
up
I've
right
never
here.
heard about
Ebenezer, you know the story. I mean, the description is literally Ebenezer Scrooge experiences a dark night of the soul in an original take on Christmas, or on Charles Dickens' iconic ghost story. So they like really play into like, well, I say that, but every version plays into the ghost. That's like the whole reason you adapt it. But it's like bleak and like very melancholy, and like it opens with like a scene of Marley in his grave. Like, no, it's not just a scene. Like, part of the story is like Marley breaking out of his grave. Like, I watched, I think like at least the first episode, maybe more, and it still didn't get to Christmas Carol stuff. Like, it's so slow. Like, I don't even know how many episodes it is. It's not telling me. Let me see details. No, it's not telling me how many episodes it is. That's weird. Do they only have one episode of it? It's only showing me.
I mean, it says
But it's only showing me one
weird.
episode. That would be hilarious if they only had the first episode of it. I don't know how many episodes it is, but it was so slow. It's pretty cool aesthetics. I kind of like the aesthetics of it. It's really dark, but yeah, I couldn't make it through. Maybe when I run out of Christmas Carol adaptations to watch, I'll go back to that one. But yeah, Guy Pearce is just like a monosyllabic, like stone face, really, really not fun to watch Scrooge. But yeah, we talked about enough of that. Let's go on to the last streaming service, the last one, right? This is number 6, Amazon Prime. And they've got their banner. We could have spent like 10 minutes just making fun of all their marketing banners. This one's called Holiday Your Way, which it rhymes. Points for rhyming. But yeah, I'm not.
It reminds me of Burger King.
Maybe so.
Now
I'm getting a HelloFresh ad. Anyway, so what do they got here? Oh, okay. So they've got the heavy hitter. They've got the best Christmas movie ever. They've got It's a Wonderful Life right there, front and center, as they should, which is exciting. I mean, I own that on Blu-ray. Do you own that on Blu-ray?
Oh yeah, I own it on 4K Blu-ray, baby. I went all out for that one. You know it.
Excuse me.
And they basically lock you into it because it's like the 4K comes with the black and white version of the movie on 4K and the color version on the Blu-ray. So you better make sure you got the 4K setup ready to go because you don't want to get stuck watching the colorized.
Yeah, I always watch the
It's a Wonderful
black
Life.
and white version. It's not a great colored version. It looks really. It takes you out. It takes me out a lot. But yeah, they've got that. I don't know why Fantastic Mr. Fox is here, but that's there. Yeah, this is what I hate about Amazon. This is one of my least favorite. This is probably with Netflix my least favorite streaming service. They mix in paid stuff, like with like completely arbitrarily. Like here's some free stuff over here, Jingle All the Way and Edward Scissorhands, but the rest of that column is all paid stuff, which is annoying. Frosty's Winter Wonderland. John Goodman plays Frosty in that. Have you seen that?
No, I mean that's really good casting, I think.
Yeah, no, that's Frosty's Winter Wonderland. I'm thinking of Frosty Returns. Excuse me, let me get my Frosty continuity correct because that is an unsanctioned Frosty movie. There is a Frosty trilogy. If you don't know this, there's a Frosty trilogy. It's Frosty, and then it's Frosty's Winter Wonderland, both 2D animated, but completely different styles of animation. Then the third one is called Frosty. Oh, is it? It's Frosty and Rudolph's Winter Wonderland or something. It's a crossover. It's basically the first it's one of the first cinematic universes. Like, so there's 2 Rudolph movies. There's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and then there's Rudolph A Christmas in July. And then there's those 2 Frosty movies, and then there's a crossover movie, which is a crossover between Rudolph and Frosty and the Santa Claus is Coming to Town universe. It's crazy. I eventually want to do a video on that cinematic universe. All that stuff is the Rankin and Bass switching from like 2D animation to stop motion. Like it's all over the place. Like it'll break your brain if you try to keep up with the continuity. So I'd love to do a video on that at some point. But Frosty Returns is not a Rankin and Bass production. It was made all the way in the 90s. And it kind of tries to pass it off as the same animation style. And John Goodman is Frosty in that one. And I actually think it's a lot better than the original. But like, I mean, it's a very low bar. I still don't like Frosty Returns that much. It's still like it's still pretty mediocre. But the Frosty movies are not the best of the. We didn't even talk about that. Do you know? I don't know where those are streaming. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Santa Claus Coming to Town. The classic stuff, claymation stuff. I don't know if those are streaming anywhere.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's your hot Frosty take? What?
I mean, I don't think anyone would disagree with me. It's not anywhere near up to the standard of Santa Claus Coming to Town and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I mean, it's just like a little short, like less than 30-minute short, and it's not even stop motion. It's just kind of, I don't know. It's the redheaded Rankin and Bass stepchild, in my opinion. I think.
And of course, I know nothing about this stuff, so I've never seen it.
Yeah, Rudolph and Santa Claus Coming to Town are classics. Frosty's. It's weird because they brought it into the continuity later by making a stop motion one for the third one. That's like a crossover movie, which is bananas, by the way. And you find out like there's this ancient wizard thing that like is sucking the power from Santa Claus. It's crazy. I need to watch that all the way through at some point. But yeah, slim pickings here on Amazon too. It looks like they've got some crappy looking Hallmark looking movies, and then Bishop's Wife. Do you know anything about the Bishop's Wife?
Yeah, the Bishop's Wife. I didn't know that was a Christmas movie. I know that was nominated for Best Picture. It says an angel in human form enters the life of the bishop in order to help him build a new cathedral and repair his fractured marriage. It looks like we've got I can never remember his name on command, but he's one of my favorite actors. Hold on, I got it.
Not Jimmy Stewart.
Jimmy Stewart. Hold on, I gotta go digging for this because you're not gonna believe this. I just found the holiday portal because I was like scrolling through like the home page. I'm like, I gotta tell DJ I can't find the holiday portion, and then there was like this one little square that said holiday. I'm like, I found it, so I just got here. I gotta go dig in. One moment.
Yeah, it's the other big Hitchcock actor who's in a bunch of them. Yeah, it's Cary Grant. He's
Cary
in
Grant.
The Bishop's Wife here, and they've got Die Hard, but that's like with ads. They've got the Muppets Christmas Carol, but that's to buy. Like, I can't take these guys serious. I don't even know what I can stream. Like, I need to just see stuff that's available for free on your streaming service. They also have Edward Scissorhands. Scissorhands? They have Edward Scissorhands also. I don't know why. Like, the rights on these are so weird. How some people get both of those. But yeah, I think we've talked about it. I think It's a Wonderful Life is the only reason you need to open your Amazon Prime because, and maybe The Bishop's Wife. I don't know how.
And they also do have Jingle All the Way. They have Jingle. So if you don't have Disney Plus and you want to watch Jingle All the Way,
as you should, if you're an American or just a good human being in general, you should watch Jingle All the Way. With
what's his face? Arnold Schwarzenegger represents the immigrant experience in America. So, it really is an American classic. And, maybe you two can move in from Austria and open a mattress.
Oh, so you know more about it than you don't.
And buy a Turbo Man. I mean, I've listened to a certain commentary of it about 100 times. So I know some.
So you're just a poser. You're a Jingle All the Way poser.
I absolutely freely admit it. I have no idea what I'm really talking about. But it's interesting because you just like scroll down a little bit and immediately it's like, okay, Cinderella and Shanghai Nights are here. I don't know if those are Christmas movies or not, but like whatever. They're immediately mixed in. But Fantastic Mr. Fox is weird because I've always associated that movie with Thanksgiving, like the gold and the orange and like the warm colors of it. And like there's it's about people trying to steal food. And something about it just really screams Thanksgiving to me, especially with like the whole kind of family message of it. But I don't know. It's not strictly Thanksgiving, so I don't know if any other people have that the way I do. But it's just kind of surreal to see this here under, holiday movie season. But that's just
they also have one of the Little Women shows on here. Little Women, the book starts at Christmas, but I don't remember. Does the new movie do that Christmas scene?
The 2019 movie has at least 3
so
Christmases
you could
that it
start
cycles
watching
through.
that at Christmas time. That would fit.
Yeah, if I ever have daughters, we're watching Little Lemon every year. So and I say daughters because I don't know if my sons would be immediately interested in it, but you know what? Maybe I can condition them because Little Lemon. I know you aren't as big a fan of it as I was, but I think the 2019 Little Lemon
Hey, it's
is
one of my
just
favorite
amazing.
books.
I love it
That's the only
so
reason
much.
I'm critical of adaptations because it's one of my favorite books, and I'm not a daughter, sir. So
Oh, hey, you're right. You're right. I shouldn't be so um, prejudgmental
I will
about it.
say one
Um,
cool thing about Amazon, if I have to say something nice about them, is they have like a lot of classic cartoons. Unfortunately, they're all like plopped together like this. Like you see this 2 hours of Christmas cartoons, and they're just like all shoved into one thing that you click on. I don't know. Those must be public domain stuff that they just kind of like shove into one play button. And so that's cool because I like showing my son old cartoons that are in public domain from like the 20s through the 40s, maybe even before that. So that's cool. That it's right here. It's got like and this is actually a Rudolph cartoon that I had on VHS growing up that I watched a bunch. So I'll probably flip that on and let them see some of those old cartoons. And they have some other family-friendly stuff. I can't remember. I think the Snowman is streaming on here. Have you seen?
like the movie with
No,
Michael
no,
Fassbender, The Snowman.
not that one.
Okay, good. I was gonna say, you're excited to
I
talk
mean,
about
why
that
wouldn't I
movie?
be? No, the
What?
Snowman is a crazy 80s 1982. Yeah, it's on Amazon Prime. So the Snowman is this. It was on my list this year. We talked about it briefly when we did the Christmas one. I thought it was just like a little children's book adaptation. It is awesome. It's a silent film. There's no speaking, and it just has like the most beautiful animation. I don't know how they did this. It's like 2D animation, but it keeps shifting the camera around in 3D environments, like they're drawing every angle, and it's so smooth, and it's like I don't know. It was just beautiful. It caught me off guard. I was not expecting it to be anything special. I understand why it has a 3.9 on Letterboxd now because it's just a 26-minute like short where a kid flies with the snowman to the North Pole and sees Santa for a little bit. But it looks beautiful. It's also got the only actor in it is because there's no talking, but it like starts with like narration from David Bowie. So David Bowie is in two of my Christmas movies for this year. I was not expecting that. But yeah, he's the only voice in it, and he's like telling narration at the beginning of like a story that he had as a child, and there's no talking after that. It's a silent film. But there's a great joke in that Shaun the Sheep. I'm assuming this is much bigger in England, the Snowman, because there's a really actually really funny joke in that Shaun the Sheep Christmas movie that I just mentioned, where they do a callback to this short, and it really caught me off guard, and I was laughing because I had just watched the Snowman like the night before. So check out the Snowman, and maybe check out that Shaun the Sheep thing if you have Netflix.
Where where is it streaming?
The Snowman is
Netflix?
streaming on Prime Video, Amazon Prime.
Oh, sweet. Okay, I'll try to
But
try to
yeah,
get around
but
to
I think
that.
that's it, man. What is a Merry Friggin' Christmas with Robin Williams? Don't know what that is.
Uh, yeah, you got me. I do know Surviving Christmas is one of the
Oh,
worst Christmas movies ever. I've never seen it, but it's got Ben Affleck and James Gandolfini, and apparently it's just rotten. I will say, it's next door to Daddy's Home 2. Have you seen the
I
Daddy's Home
thankfully have
movies?
not. I haven't seen a comedy
Okay, so
since like I don't think I've seen any 2000s or 2010s or maybe even 90s comedies. Like I don't like modern comedies.
okay, so Daddy's Home 2 isn't very good, but so there's a meme in my family. Are you familiar with the song "Do They Know It's Christmas" by Band Aid?
I don't know. I don't think so. Can you give me a little few
Okay,
bars?
it's okay. I apologize to
It's okay.
everybody
You
for
don't
my
have to.
singing. Yeah. Uh, Feed the world, let them know it's
I I have.
Christmas.
I have heard
song,
that.
right?
But I'm glad you did that anyway.
So I'm so sorry, everybody. But there's so that song is basically like a big charity drive song where they got like Boy George and Bono and all the pop stars and rock stars of that time to come and do a big good song. But it's well intentioned. It's also like you listen to the lyrics, one of the most condescending and worst Christmas songs ever, because they're basically saying like it was raising money for Ethiopia, and they're like, basically the lyrics are, man, Africa's basically hell on earth. It's like the greatest gift they'll get this year is life. Nothing ever grows, no soul ever goes. Do they even know it's Christmas? Like, it's so condescending and kind of mean spirited that I kind of laugh. Like, it's so funny. But the ending of Daddy's Home 2, I'm bringing it full circle here. The ending of Daddy's Home 2 is John Cena, and they're all stuck in a movie theater, and like John Cena and Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg, and they all start like making everybody sing this song, and I'm like, what is happening? I didn't think anybody actually liked this song, and you have John Cena say, "This is my favorite song of all time." And then, like, my brother was working at a movie theater at the time, and like people were coming out of the theater going, I like that song, and we're both like, what is happening? What is happening? Like, anyways, Daddy's Home 2 will always have like that. I will never forget that movie. I will never forget I thought like I was dreaming, like I had fallen into the Twilight Zone. It is one of the most surreal endings to a movie I've ever seen. So if you want that experience, watch Daddy's Home 2. Or don't.
Wow. See, you have the leg up on me with that kind of stuff. Like I said, I haven't watched modern comedies, and a lot of modern Christmas movies are comedies. Like, I forgot to mention this when we were on Hulu, Office Christmas Party with, what is that, Jason Bateman? And yeah, I have not seen any of those. Like, that's the stuff that you've seen because you watch modern movies. Like, are those terrible?
Oh, man. The Office Christmas Party's rough. Love the Coopers is the worst Christmas movie I've ever seen. That movie's rotten. And I was working at a theater at the time, and like regularly, whoever did go there, like, it was a very small amount of people who actually went to go see that. Like, half of them walked out and were like, that was awful. And I remember someone actually came up and they're like, love the Coopers, is that any good? I went, honestly, it's like the worst movie we're showing. And they're like, really? And a girl walking by said, yeah, I just walked out of it like halfway through. It's terrible. And there, she's like, wow, but the previews made it look so good. I'm like, I know, but it's really bad. But Almost Christmas was okay. That had Danny Glover in it, Gabrielle Union and JB Smoove. And it was all right. It was pretty amusing. I like Danny Glover, so.
Interesting.
Yeah, they're not all
right.
bad.
Well, we've rambled on for an hour for what should have been probably like a 5-minute video. So hopefully you enjoyed this, and hopefully you're watching some holiday favorites this week. Not that, apparently. Apparently don't watch anything that was made after like 19. When was? I guess The Grinch was 2003, and Elf is also 2003. The Grinch was 2001, maybe. I think Elf is 03.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Grinch
don't
was
watch any Christmas movies after that.
Elf is 03.
I guess just beware. But Arthur Christmas, actually Klaus. There's stuff here and there. So yeah, it's like musicals, right? There's like one good one every year. Although this year is like the year of musicals. What's going on? So many musicals coming out this year.
Yeah, I know.
But anyway,
if anybody hasn't seen West Side Story, go out and see it.
Yeah, I'm so jealous that you've already
seen
good.
That.
I need to get to the theater and see that. But now there's a big holiday. Well, it's not holiday related, but it's coming out. What is it? 2 days now? Get your tickets, man. Get your tickets. I'm going Friday. I can't go Thursday. But anyway, I don't know if we'll talk about that movie here, but we definitely will talk about that on the other channel. Are you doing the spoiler cast for that? Okay. Yeah, I'm actually going to join you guys on that one. We're going to do a review on the Geekvolution YouTube channel talking about the new Spider-Man movie. But anyway, that's enough about Christmas movies. I think we've exhausted it. I mean, thank you for joining us as we literally went through Apple TV, Hulu, Amazon Prime, Criterion Channel, Netflix, Disney Plus, and HBO Max. Woo! That's a lot of streamers. So many streamers these days, and we didn't even touch the Peacock or the Paramount Plus. I mean, we could have went on and on. But yeah, I think we covered it. I think we talked about a lot of good Christmas stuff. Get Criterion Channel. Check out those movies. Go to HBO Max. Watch some of the Hollywood classics on there. And you should be covered. If you have kids, get Disney Plus because they have some cool Christmas stuff on there. But anyway, we're going to go back to our lives of watching through our Christmas watch list so that we can do a follow-up video for you at the start of the new year, and hopefully Connor will have finally seen some Christmas movies. I feel like it's just going to be Fanny and Alexander. I feel like that's the only thing you're going to get to this month. And you're going to have the weirdest list of Christmas movies that you've seen.
All right, number 5 is Fanny and Alexander, episode 3. All right, that was the week one. Number 4 is Home Alone 3. You know, that one kind of came in clutch a little bit. It'll basically just be the episodes of Fanny and Alexander and Home Alone 3. That's what I got. Now, in all seriousness, I expect my heart to be full of jolly joy and hallelujah and tinsel and peppermint and all the good Christmas stuff, all right?
That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping I can turn this Scrooge into a Christmas fan, this Grinch here. Although I do appreciate the elf hat. It's very festive. It makes me feel good.
Oh yeah, I love Christmas. I love Christmas time. It's like my favorite. Well, summertime's my favorite time of the year, but it's a close second.
Yeah, well, thanks for hopping on for this last minute crazy idea for a stream that we just came up with. I like the green screen. I think I'm going to use it for some other things. Not going to use it a lot. So don't if you hate it, don't get mad. Don't get scared that I'm going to like throw it in your face all the time. I'm not going to use it for like our normal videos, but I'm thinking of doing some things where I can draw your attention more to the objects that we're talking about instead of our faces. Because, I mean, you get tired of looking at our ugly mugs for hour and a half, 2 hours sometimes, depending on how long the video is. But anyway, that's enough rambling. Thanks for joining us for this spontaneous Christmas surprise. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.